Proverbs 14, verse by verse, in various versions. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. Wisdom is building her house, but the foolish woman is pulling it down with her hands. The wise woman builds her home, but the silly woman destroys her home with her own hands. Every wise woman builds up her household, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. Every wise woman builds her household, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. He that walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despises him. He who goes on his way in righteousness has before him the fear of the Lord, but he whose ways are twisted gives him no honor. An honest man is afraid of the Lord, but some men are not honest. A man like that thinks that the Lord is not important. Someone whose conduct is upright fears the Lord, but whoever is devious in his ways despises him. The one who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but the one who is perverted in his ways despises him. He who walks in his uprightness fears Yud-He-Vav-He, but he who is perverse in his ways despises him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. In the mouth of the foolish man is a rod for his back, but the lips of the wise will keep them safe. Fools think that they are great, so they talk too much, but the words of wise men keep them from what is bad. What a fool says brings a rod to his back, but the words of the wise protect them. In the speech of a fool is a rod for his back, but the words of the wise protect them. The fool's talk brings a rod to his back, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. Where there are no oxen, their food place is clean, but much increase comes through the strength of the ox. When a farmer has no oxen, his building will be clean, but if he has oxen, his building will be full of seeds from his farm. Where there are no oxen, the feeding trough is clean, but profits come through the strength of the ox. Where there are no oxen, the feeding trough is clean, but an abundant harvest is produced by strong oxen. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A true witness does not say what is false, but a false witness is breathing out deceit. An honest person always speaks true words about what he has seen, but a bad person always speaks false words about what he has seen. A trustworthy witness does not deceive, but a false witness spews lies. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A truthful witness will not lie, but a false witness pours out lies. A scorner seeks wisdom and finds it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understands. The hater of authority, searching for wisdom, does not get it, but knowledge comes readily to the open-minded man. Some people laugh about wise words. They would like to become wise, but they cannot. But wise people learn easily. A mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but learning comes easily to someone who understands. The scorner seeks wisdom but finds none, but understanding is easy for a discerning person. A scoffer seeks wisdom and doesn't find it, but knowledge comes easily to a discerning person. Go from the presence of a foolish man when you perceive not in him the lips of knowledge. Go away from the foolish man, for you will not see the lips of knowledge. Stay away from silly people, they have nothing to teach you. Stay away from a foolish man, for you will not find competent advice. Leave the presence of a foolish person, or you will not understand wise counsel. Stay away from a foolish man, for you won't find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. The wisdom of the man of good sense makes his way clear, but the unwise behavior of the foolish is deceit. A clever person knows what to do, so he is wise, but a silly person is a fool. He only thinks that he knows what to do. The wisdom of the prudent helps him know how to live, but a fool's stupidity deceives him. The wisdom of the shrewd person is to discern his way, but the folly of fools is deception. The wisdom of the prudent is to think about his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. In the tents of those hating authority there is error, but in the house of the upright man there is grace. Silly people are not sorry when they sin, they laugh about it, but everyone likes good people. Fools make fun of guilt, but among the upright there are good intentions. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. Fools mock at reparation, but among the upright there is favor. Fools mock at making atonement for sins, but among the upright there is goodwill. The heart knows his own bitterness, and a stranger does not intermeddle with his joy. No one has knowledge of a man's grief but himself, and a strange person has no part in his joy. When you are happy, you yourself are happy. When you are sad, you yourself are sad. Nobody else is happy or sad with you. The heart knows its own bitterness. An outsider cannot share in its joy. The heart knows its own bitterness, and with its joy no one else can share. The heart knows its own bitterness and joy. He will not share these with a stranger. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. The house of the sinner will be overturned, but the tent of the upright man will do well. The house of a good person will not fall, but anything can destroy the house of a bad person. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. There is a way which seems straight before a man, but its end is the ways of death. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads him to death. There is a pathway that seems right to a man, but in the end it's a road to death. There is a way that seems right to a person, but its end is the way that leads to death. There is a way which seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. Even while laughing, the heart may be sad, and after joy comes sorrow. A man may be sad even when he is laughing. He may smile, but he may still not be happy in the end. Even in laughter, there may be heartache, and at the end of joy, there may be grief. Even in laughter, the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. Even in laughter, the heart may be sorrowful, and mirth may end in heaviness. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. He whose heart is turned away will have the reward of his ways in full measure, but a good man will have the reward of his doings. A man who was good may now be bad. A man like that receives a lot of bad things, but a good man receives a lot of good things. The faithless one will pay for his behavior, but a good man will be rewarded for his. The backslider will be paid back from his own ways, but a good person will be rewarded for his. The unfaithful will be repaid for his own ways. Likewise, a good man will be rewarded for his ways. The simple believes every word, but the prudent man looks well to his going. The simple man has faith in every word, but the man of good sense gives thought to his footsteps. A fool will believe anything, but a careful man will think before he does anything. An unthinking person believes everything, but the prudent one thinks before acting. A naive person believes everything, but the shrewd person discerns his steps. A simple man believes everything, but the prudent man carefully considers his ways. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but the fool rages and is confident. The wise man, fearing, keeps himself from evil, but the foolish man goes on in his pride with no thought of danger. A wise man is careful to stay out of trouble, but a silly man is careless and he does things too quickly. The wise person fears and turns away from evil, but a fool is reckless and overconfident. A wise person is cautious and turns from evil, but a fool throws off restraint and is overconfident. A wise man is cautious and turns away from evil, but the fool is arrogant and reckless. A wise man fears and shuns evil, but the fool is hot-headed and reckless. He that is soon angry deals foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. He who is quickly angry will do what is foolish, but the man of good sense will have quiet. An angry man does silly things, and people hate a man whose plans cause trouble. A quick-tempered person does foolish things, and a devious man is hated. A person who has a quick temper does foolish things, and a person with crafty schemes is hated. He who is quick to become angry will commit folly, and a crafty man is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Foolish behavior is the heritage of the simple, but men of good sense are crowned with knowledge. People who do not know anything get into trouble, but careful people become wise. The naive inherit folly, but the careful are crowned with knowledge. The naive inherit folly, but the shrewd are crowned with knowledge. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The knees of the evil are bent before the good, and sinners go down in the dust at the doors of the upright. Bad people must bend their knees to good people, and they must ask the good people to be kind to them. Evil men will bow down in the presence of good men, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. Those who are evil will bow before those who are good, and the wicked will bow at the gates of the righteous. The evil bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. The poor man is hated even by his neighbor, but the man of wealth has numbers of friends. Nobody likes poor people, not even those near to them, but rich people have many friends. The poor person is shunned by his neighbor, but many are the friends of the wealthy. A poor person is disliked even by his neighbors, but those who love the rich are many. The poor person is shunned even by his own neighbor, but the rich person has many friends. He that despises his neighbor sins, but he that has mercy on the poor, happy is he. He who has no respect for his neighbor is a sinner, but he who has pity for the poor is happy. A man may think that he is better than those near to him. A man like that is a sinner. But God does good things on behalf of a man who is kind to poor people. Whoever despises his neighbor sins, but whoever shows kindness to the poor will be happy. The one who despises his neighbor sins, but whoever is kind to the needy is blessed. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has pity on the poor is blessed. Do they not err that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. Will not the designers of evil come into error? But mercy and good faith are for the designers of good. People who try to do bad things make a mistake, but those who do good things for other people will find love and honest friends. Won't those who plot evil go astray? But gracious love and truth are for those who plan what is good. Do not those who devise evil go astray, but those who plan good exhibit faithful covenant love. Do they not go astray who plot evil, but love and faithfulness belong to those who plan good. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tends only to penury. In all hard work there is profit, but talk only makes a man poor. All work causes you to have money, but people who talk too much become poor. In hard work there is always profit, but too much chattering leads to poverty. In all hard work there is profit, but merely talking about it only brings poverty. In all hard work there is profit, but the talk of the lips leads only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. Their wisdom is a crown to the wise, but their foolish behavior is round the head of the unwise. To a wise man, money is like what a king wears on his head, but a fool does not have anything like that. The crown of the wise is their wealth, but the stupidity of fools is just that, stupidity. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools is folly. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools crowns them with folly. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. A true witness is the savior of lives, but he who says false things is a cause of deceit. Someone may speak true words about what he has seen. If he does, he will keep lives safe. But when a man speaks false words, he causes people to believe false things. A truthful witness saves lives, but the person who lies is deceitful. A truthful witness rescues lives, but the one who breathes lies brings deception. A truthful witness saves souls, but a false witness is deceitful. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. For him in whose heart is the fear of the Lord, there is strong hope, and his children will have a safe place. When a man is afraid of the Lord, he and his family will be safe. Rock-solid security is found in the fear of the Lord, and within it, one's children find refuge. In the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and it will be a refuge for his children. In the fear of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh is a secure fortress, and he will be a refuge for his children. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life by which one may be turned from the nets of death. To be afraid of the Lord is like the water that gives life. It keeps a man safe, even from death. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, enabling anyone to escape the snares of death. The fear of the Lord is like a life-giving fountain to turn people from deadly snares. The fear of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh is a fountain of life, turning people from the snares of death. In the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. A king's glory is in the number of his people, and for need of people a ruler may come to destruction. When a king rules many people, he is great, but without the people, he is nothing. A large population is a king's glory, but a shortage of people is a ruler's ruin. A king's glory is the abundance of people, but the lack of subjects is the ruin of a ruler. In the multitude of people is the king's glory, but in the lack of people is the destruction of the prince. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalts folly. He who is slow to be angry has great good sense, but he whose spirit is overquick gives support to what is foolish. A patient man can understand many things, but an angry man does not know anything. Being slow to get angry compares to great understanding, as being quick-tempered compares to stupidity. The one who is slow to anger has great understanding, but the one who has a quick temper exalts folly. He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a quick temper displays folly. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. A quiet mind is the life of the body, but envy is a disease in the bones. A mind that does not have trouble causes the body to be well, but when someone thinks bad thoughts about other people, he becomes sick. A tranquil mind brings life to one's body, but jealousy causes one's bones to rot. A tranquil spirit revives the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. The life of the body is a heart at peace, but envy rots the bones. He that oppresses the poor reproaches his Maker, but he that honors him has mercy on the poor. He who is hard on the poor puts shame on his Maker, but he who has mercy on those who are in need gives him honor. A man may be cruel to poor people, but really he thinks bad things about God who created them. But whoever is kind to poor people worships God. Whoever oppresses the poor defies their Creator, but whoever is kind to the needy honors them. The one who oppresses the poor insults his Creator, but whoever shows favor to the needy honors him. He who oppresses the poor shows contempt for his Maker, but he who is kind to the needy honors him. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous has hope in his death. The sinner is overturned in his evil doing, but the upright man has hope in his righteousness. When bad men do wrong things, they destroy themselves, but good men have hope even in death. The wicked person is thrown down by his own wrongdoing, but the righteous person has a place of safety in death. The wicked will be thrown down in his trouble, but the righteous have refuge even in the threat of death. The wicked is brought down in his calamity, but in death the righteous has a refuge. Wisdom rests in the heart of him that has understanding, but that which is in the midst of fools is made known. Wisdom has her resting place in the mind of the wise, but she is not seen among the foolish. Wise people think wise thoughts, but fools show everyone that they know nothing about wise thoughts. Wisdom is at rest in the mind of the discerning. Even fools know this. Wisdom rests in the heart of the discerning. It is known even in the heart of fools. Wisdom rests in the heart of one who has understanding, and is even made known in the inward part of fools. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. By righteousness a nation is lifted up, but sin is a cause of shame to the peoples. A country becomes great when it does right things, but sin makes its people ashamed. Righteousness makes a nation great, but sin diminishes any people. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him that causes shame. The king has pleasure in a servant who does wisely, but his wrath is against him who is a cause of shame. A wise servant gives the king pleasure, but the king is angry with the servant who causes shame. The king approves the wise servant, but he is angry at anyone who acts shamefully. The king shows favor to a wise servant, but his wrath falls on one who acts shamefully. The king's favor is toward a servant who deals wisely, but his wrath is toward one who causes shame.